Okay, so in this video we actually are going to do two examples. And with this first one, you'll notice here we need to get a common denominator. Well, if we look and see what we have is we have one factor here, but because of the square we have two factors in the bottom. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to factor the denominator of everything that is factorable. And in one of the previous videos before, I said, hey, we want to look at the factors and make sure that those match. So if we look here, we got an x plus 2 here. We have an x plus 2, but this one is missing an x minus 2 factor. So I need to multiply this guy by x minus 2 over x minus 2. And that is going to allow me to have the same factors in the denominator for both terms. And so I'm just going to write it out as x minus 2 times x all over x minus 2 times x plus 2. And I'm going to add that to negative 8 all over this existing term. And so now we'll notice that we have the same factors in the denominator, and now I can combine the numerator. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm actually going to work over to the far left here, and so I'm going to combine everything because they have a common denominator. Let me get the pen here. I just rewrite what that is. And then I have x minus 2 times x plus 8. Because of the common denominator, I can combine things, and when we add fractions, we just add what's in the top and leave the denominator as is. So I'm going to set this equal, and we're going to start to simplify. I'm going to look at this guy right here. We do multiplication before addition, and I'm just going to distribute that x, so I get an x squared minus 2x, and then I got this plus 8 all over x minus 2, x plus 2. I am then going to factor because we have to simplify if we can. So now this first step was we combined like terms. Okay, so that was the first step. Now I'm going to factor, and the numerator factors to x minus 4 x plus 2 all over x minus 2 x plus 2. So I'm going to continue down here at the bottom here on the far left and just kind of start right here. So now I'm going to have my note here. My note is my domain. Right now I know x cannot equal 2 or negative 2. And when I look back at the previous step, the x plus 2's cancel out. So then that means I removed this part of the domain, but it is a part of our original problem. So when I rewrite the simplified answer, I also have to state the domain from the original that we removed. And so this would be our final simplified answer. Here's our next example. Not maybe as involved as the previous one. Maybe it is. What we have here is a term, x squared plus this. Well, right now the x squared is over 1. They need to have a 3x minus 5. So I'm just going to multiply the numerator and the denominator on the left-hand side by 3x minus 5. And so I'm going to have 3x minus 5 times x squared all over 3x minus 5. And I'm going to add that to the term that we didn't have to change because the denominator was what we needed to be. I'm going to go ahead and simplify these. I'll change the color. I'm actually going to distribute this guy first and then combine. I just feel like it's going to be easier. So I have 3x cubed minus 5x squared all over 3x minus 5. I'm going to add that to 2x over 3x minus 5. And that's going to give me 3x cubed minus 5x squared plus 2x all over 3x minus 5. So now that we've combined everything, I need to look to simplify again. I'm going to rewrite what we have over here. There's just more room on the screen. And so my note here is that as of right now, the domain is x cannot equal 5/3. That is the 0 from the denominator. Okay? So I look at this numerator and I say, well, this is a trinomial. I'm going to pull out the greatest common factor and see what I have left. So I pull out the x, and I have 3x squared minus 5x plus 2 all over 3x minus 5. Okay, and now I'm going to do a little bit of a side work here, and I'm going to factor the 3x squared minus 5x plus 2. And then I'll rewrite it in this spot up here. Take the leading term and the constant, leading coefficient and the constant, I multiply them. What two numbers multiply to 6 but add to negative 5? And those numbers are negative 3 and negative 2. So I'm going to go ahead and split that middle number into negative 3x minus 2x plus 2. And then I group them by creating an even amount on the left side and the right side, and I pull out the greatest common factor. So on the left side would be 3x, and that leaves me with an x minus 1. Do the same. I pull out a 2, and that would leave me with x minus 1. And then I factor out an x minus 1, and this leaves me with my two factors. So now I'm going to go ahead in this spot above, and I'm going to write all my factors. And we'll notice here that none of these factors will reduce, so I'm going to go ahead and just circle that, and that is my complete answer. So remember, you have to factor to see if it can simplify any further, and then we didn't have to note any domain restrictions because it was not removed. So it's already still in the problem, so I don't have to notate saying, hey, by the way, we simplified, this guy still doesn't work. It's already there, so we leave it as is.